Okay, so as you know, we're down at Maidenhead today for their game against Torquay, and been joined gratefully by Shay, who is the marketing and media manager. Got that right?
Correct, yeah.
Well, we've got a lovely day. It's like a summer's day, I've got to be honest. It's been a bit warm and sunny. Yeah. But Shay, so what does your role in taking the job?
So my general role is just to look after the sort of marketing and media output for the entire club. Now, a lot of people associate with the men's first team and all the bits we do, you know, getting matches on, live coverage, promoting games, reporting on games, but that also extends to our other parts of the club as well. So the community trust, responsibility for our community coaching, media for community coaching programs, our juniors programs. So basically shouting about the club as much as possible, which is why it's very helpful when you guys come down today. Makes my job easy as possible.
And just how many teams, like junior teams, does the club run?
So we have, I believe, it's up to 65 juniors teams now, and that has largely been in the past 10 years as that's all came about.
65, no, that's brilliant. Again, you know, when we do these things, I like to emphasise this about how much the club means to the community, not just about kick-off on it. And I just wish the FA would recognise that a bit more, that it isn't just about 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon, it's about what the club brings to the community. 65 teams, what's that, 500 kids?
I think we're up to about 780 now, something like that.
And what would they be doing if they weren't doing this? This is the question that the authorities and everyone should recognise about every club, non-league club. You know, absolutely fantastic. 65 clubs, 780 kids.
Yeah, and to be fair, there's a common trend that when we go to a lot of non-league clubs, you know, whether it be National League South or lower, the amount of junior sides, you know, amount of work that goes into it behind the scenes, like you say, not just 3 o'clock on a Saturday, but, you know, there'll be Sunday morning football, there'll be midweek, you know, all these different things, and it just goes to show that there's a lot more behind a football club than just, like you say, the first team 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon.
Absolutely. The pitch looks immaculate, by the way. Where else do you have facility to play with I'll get it right in a minute when I cut that bit out or put it in an outtake. Right, we'll start again, shall we? So obviously the pitch is in immaculate condition. So what other facilities do you have in the town for accommodating for that many sides?
Well, that's a very poignant question, actually, because we're currently looking at relocating ground. So there's been a whole...
really?
It's been something that's been going on for about 70 years, believe it or not. It's been on and off, as ground moves always seem to happen. But part of the reason for that is because currently we don't really have those facilities available to the club. There's sort of astroturfs at schools and places across the Royal Borough, but that obviously depends on, you know, the council looking after them, and you know, in these days, you know, local councils don't have as much money. So we've got, you know, here what we've got is we've got the cage. It's like a little 5.
We've taken a picture of that.
A little 5-a-side pitch there. But then it's only really
you're relying on the
main pitch, and our facilities are, you know, dotted around all over the place, really. So.
I mean, I guess one of the things is like we were saying, what wonderful having a club right bang centre in the middle of town is brilliant. Yeah. You know, most clubs now, you don't see it that often now. Smack bang in the middle of town, that automatically is going to mean you're not going to have that level of facility like some of the clubs that have moved out of the towns. But just on the ground, that's really interesting, because right now you the only club in the world, or you hold the record for being the longest, the stadium is the longest stadium that has been frequented by the same team in the world.
In the world, yeah.
1871.
So February the 16th, 1871, we played our first ever game here.
And that's the record. And UEFA, the FA, everyone has they've all recognised that this ground here is the oldest ground to have a club at it all the time, same club.
That's the key caveat, yeah. So I think there's clubs that grounds that are older. I think Bramall Lane, for example, is actually older, but we've played continuously here for 155 5 years in February coming up.
Does that make that sign 5 years old then?
Yes, we'll need to add another 5 onto there in the next couple of months. So,
question on that though. I mean, the fans, I presume, it's a really bad balance in it when you've got a balance. How do the fans feel about if you moved away from this historical club to what benefits you can bring to the community by moving away? What an awful
it's a very
quandary.
Tough predicament to be in, because if we could stay here and we could develop it and could create all the facilities, not that just allow us, to get us a sort of social impact. We recently did this impact report. We've got a social impact of 5.2 million a year on the community, so we can deliver stuff like that.
Just saying that, actually, you're the second club that has given us that sort of stat. Because I think Leek Town give me that stat. That their impact on the community was 2.1 million. On impact on the and again, Pete, I'm looking at the camera now. Do we realise this, people, just what these clubs are about? Because the FA don't, the government don't. Do you know what I mean? That's the impact this club has on the area.
It's a community, isn't it? At the end of the day, there's going to be the same fans that come down here every week, have come down here for 50 years. This is their club, this is their ground, this is bang in the centre of the town. And there's something quite special about when we was driving in. It was like, it's unique. You're going through your little streets, little terrace houses, and then bang, there's a ground right in the town. And it was just old school. It's got a real old school, brilliant feel about it. And it's all well and good that you might want to potentially need to move away to obviously develop, like junior teams, youth teams, more facilities, etc. But then you're losing something. Do you know what I mean?
It's a quandary. It's really.
And now you must forgive, I gave a bit of a politician's answer to your question about the supporters.
No, of course,
but so I think a lot of people would love to say, but I think more and more people are realising that if we want to keep that pride in the club and achieving what it can for the community, then relocation is the only option we have.
And just one more question in terms of that subject. Like, if relocation was on the cards, obviously this is a little bit of a blind question in terms of you probably won't know, but like, is Maidenhead quite built up, or would you find yourself sort of like in a situation like a lot of other clubs at your level where they have to move out of the town quite far away, or would there be sort of like lands potentially doable nearby?
There's land. There's discussions ongoing at the moment, but there is land nearby that we believe is a good location, and that is, it's just out of the so right now we're in the heart of the town centre. We'd still be in the town centre, just more on the outskirts. Now, the good thing about Maidenhead is quite a small, historically it's a market town, so it's quite a small town in terms of its footprint, and that means that we're only going to be about a 15-minute walk away from here. So we're not doing, I know we've been to a few clubs in the past where they've moved ground and then they're 3 miles out.
Exactly.
And you've got
Boston United is a really good example of that, actually. They got that wonderful old school ground right smack bang. If you go to Skeggy, you know what I'm on about. Drive past it. It's wonderful. But their new ground's lovely. I ain't going to deny that. But it is out of town.
And this is it. We've all been to grounds, whether it be in the Football League or non-league, where, the ground is like nowhere near the town. And it's like, you look at like the fans and you think, Christ, like every week they've got shapes out to here and there. But then on the flip side, you've got, like you say, Maidenhead here today, Spalding United or another club in the non-league, their ground, bang in the town. It's a carbon copy of this, to be honest. Right in the town, you've got your shops, your pubs, down the ground. And that, this community feel that this club brings, and just having a wander around and,
it's a real shame, isn't it, that they would have to do it.
It must help you with football as well, with numbers through the door, because if you're a fan and you're in the town, there's a football match 30 seconds down the road. You know what I mean? You haven't got to traipse out of town to get there, so that helps as well.
But you're obviously looking at something that would keep you as near to town as you can.
That's what we really want. We don't want to just move ground for the sake of it and forget all about that town centre thing. Where we're looking, if it's a 5-minute walk from the train station to here, it's going to be about 7 or 8 minutes just in the opposite direction. So that still means that, on the match days and all that, we can still have supporters. They'll go into the town. They'll support the local economy, and stuff like that as well.
And just touching on today's game, so you're expecting a big crowd, you're expecting a big following from Torquay today. Obviously segregated today. Does that cause you many headaches? I mean, it looks like you've got this ground so well set up for that anyway.
Yeah, it's a good question. It's the first time I've had to segregate this season. Now it's more of those things really. It's just to be better safe than sorry. You know, there's going to be a lot of people here today. We're doing a complimentary admission for armed forces personnel and veterans. As well.
Yeah.
So,
Let's just elaborate on that a little bit. So,
of course.
So it's obviously Remembrance Sunday tomorrow. I see the poppy corner flags, fantastic. And what is it you've done for the veterans?
So it's active personnel in the armed forces and veterans. They get complimentary admission to today's game.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful, brilliant. Okay, well look, give me a prediction. What you think today's score will be?
Ooh, I don't want to do this because I'm always wrong. So on that basis, I'm going to go a 1-1 draw, I reckon. Yeah. But I'm hopeful.
I was expecting him to say like 3-0 Torquay. So you're going 1-1 draw, yeah?
I think a 1-1 draw. You know, we've struggled to score from open play in recent games, but you know, I think on Tuesday was only the second time all season that we've conceded 2 in the league.